Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta FALCONS FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. Buckle up because what I'm about to share with you could be one of the most significant developments of the NFL offseason for the Atlanta Falcons. It's a story that involves blockbuster trade talks, superstar talent, salary cap dilemmas, and a bold vision for the future of this franchise. And trust me, this isn't just some rumor mill chatter. It's something that's been heating up behind the scenes with real potential to reshape the Falcons' defense and ultimately their entire 2024 season trajectory. So let's dive into the details, the context, and what this could mean for the Falcons and the division as a whole. First, let's set the scene. The Atlanta Falcons in recent seasons have been on a bit of a roller coaster ride. They've had flashes of brilliance, especially on the offensive side of the ball, thanks to young stars like quarterback Desmond Ridder, wide receiver Drake London, tight end Kyle Pitts, and running back Bijan Robinson. But when it comes to their defense, particularly the pass rush, there's been a glaring weakness, a problem that's haunted them for years. Last season, the Falcons ranked 31st in the NFL with only 31 sacks. That's almost hard to believe, considering how much talent and potential they have on defense. It's a clear sign that they need to do something radical to improve their pass rush, and that's exactly what they've been trying to do this offseason. In the 2025 NFL Draft, the Falcons made some bold moves, using both of their first-round picks on Georgia's Jalon Walker and Tennessee's James Pierce Jr. These are promising young players, and they do bring some much-needed athleticism and depth to the front seven. But even with those additions, many fans and analysts agree that Atlanta could still use a proven superstar to anchor their pass rush and make a real difference on third downs and in clutch moments. Enter the talk of the town, Micah Parsons. Yes, you heard it right. The Dallas Cowboys star linebacker and edge rusher and one of the most dominant defenders in the league is suddenly being linked to the Falcons in what's being called a blockbuster trade proposal. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, is that even realistic? Well, that's where things get interesting. Parsons, at just 26 years old, has already established himself as a game changer. He's a two-time Pro Bowler, a first-team All-Pro, and he consistently ranks among the top defenders in the league in sacks, tackles for loss, quarterback pressures, and forced turnovers. Last season alone, Parsons recorded 5 sacks, 17 tackles for loss, and was a nightmare for offensive lines to handle. His explosiveness off the edge, combined with his versatility to drop back into coverage or rush the quarterback, makes him a rare talent. But here's the catch. Parsons is entering the final year of his rookie contract, which means he's set to make around $24 million this season on his fifth-year option. The Cowboys have yet to lock him into a long-term deal, and owner Jerry Jones has been notably cautious, even patient, about negotiations. That's where the trade talks come into focus. The idea is that Atlanta would see Parsons as the missing piece to elevate their defense from good to elite. Imagine a front seven with Jalon Walker, James Pierce Jr., and Micah Parsons rushing the passer. It could instantly transform the Falcons into one of the most fearsome units in the league. But the big question is, how feasible is it? Well, let's talk about the financial side because that's where it gets tricky. Parsons' projected market value, according to SpotTrack, is around 4 years and $145 million. That's an average annual salary of roughly $36. $3 million, $1 of the highest in NFL history for a defensive player. And for the Falcons, currently their cap situation is tight. They're projected to have only about $5 million in cap space for this season and just a little over $5 million for the next year before considering future extensions for stars like Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Bijan Robinson. So right away, you see the issue. Acquiring Parsons would mean a significant cap hit, which Atlanta might struggle to accommodate without making some tough cuts or restructures. And of course, Dallas's interest in keeping Parsons around complicates things. The Cowboys are not eager to let a player of Parsons' caliber go easily, especially since they see him as a cornerstone of their defense, a player who can help them contend for a Super Bowl in the coming years. Owner Jerry Jones has been patient, as he mentioned recently. I'd rather pay more and get it right than pay less and screw it up. That philosophy suggests that the Cowboys might prefer to keep Parsons long-term rather than trade him away unless the offer is truly irresistible. And here's where the hypothetical trade gets even more complicated. The proposed deal, as some rumors suggest, could involve multiple draft picks, maybe a young player or two, and a hefty salary adjustment. But realistically, it's more of a long shot than an imminent reality. The Cowboys' interest in retaining Parsons, coupled with Atlanta's cap constraints, makes this scenario seem more like a dream scenario for Falcons fans rather than something likely to happen overnight. Still, it's fun to imagine what this kind of move could do for the Falcons. A defense with Parsons leading the charge could instantly elevate Atlanta's playoff chances, especially if the offense continues to develop around Ritter and Robinson. And speaking of the season ahead, the Falcons are entering 2024 with a lot of expectations. The NFC South appears to be more open than ever, with teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and New Orleans Saints looking to bounce back, while the Carolina Panthers are still in a rebuilding phase. The Falcons have a real shot to contend if their defense can keep opponents at bay and if their offensive line stabilizes. But to truly make a leap into the postseason and beyond, they need that game-changing defender who can turn games around with a single play. That's why Parsons has become such a hot topic, not just because of his talent, but because he symbolizes that missing piece the Falcons have been searching for. Now, let's talk about the broader picture. The Falcons' recent history has been filled with ups and downs. They've had promising seasons, like their playoff run in 2020, but also moments of disappointment, especially on defense. They've invested heavily in the offense with the likes of Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts, but defense has often lagged behind. In recent years, the team has focused on building a strong roster, drafting smartly, and trying to find that perfect balance between youth and experience. The addition of a superstar pass rusher like Parsons would be a statement move, a clear signal that Atlanta is all in on competing now, not just rebuilding. And it's not just about one player. It's about the message it sends to the rest of the league, to their division rivals, and to their own fan base. Falcons fans are hungry for success. They want to see their team return to the playoffs, make a deep run, and perhaps finally get back to the Super Bowl stage. The franchise's history has moments of glory, like their Super Bowl appearance in 1998, but it's been a while since they've been consistently competitive at the highest level. Acquiring a player like Parsons could be a step toward reversing that trend and establishing Atlanta as a true contender. But let's not forget, the NFL is a business, and the cap space negotiations and team priorities all play a role. The Falcons' front office is known for being aggressive when they see an opportunity, but they're also pragmatic. They want to add talent, sure, but they don't want to jeopardize their future for a short-term fix. That's why even if the Parsons trade remains a tempting idea, it might stay just that, an idea. Still, it's exciting to think about what could happen if Atlanta manages to pull off something similar or even just makes a bold move to get a proven star on defense. As we look ahead to the season, the Falcons have a lot to prove. The NFC South is wide open, and this division has been unpredictable in recent years. The Saints, Buccaneers, and Panthers are all trying to find their footing, but Atlanta's window is right there, waiting to be opened wide if they can get that extra push. And honestly, adding a player like Parsons could be that push. It's a bold, ambitious idea, one that embodies the Falcons' recent approach: aggressive, forward-thinking, and unafraid to shake things up. Whether it materializes or remains just a rumor, one thing is clear: Atlanta is not content with the status quo. They're dreaming big, and that's exactly what this franchise needs to rise again. Now you, the Falcons fans, are probably pondering all of this, and that's what makes this story so exciting. The potential for a blockbuster trade, the chance to see Parsons in the red and black, it's enough to make any fan's heart race. But more than that, it's about the future. It's about the Falcons finally taking that step towards becoming a perennial playoff team and possibly chasing that elusive Super Bowl title. So stay tuned, because whether this trade happens or not, the 2024 season is shaping up to be one of the most intriguing chapters in Atlanta Falcons history. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all of this? Do you believe there's any chance the Falcons managed to pull off such a blockbuster move? Would you love to see Micah Parsons in Atlanta's jersey? Or do you think it's just wishful thinking given the cap constraints and the Cowboys' interest in keeping him? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because your opinion matters so much to us and to the Falcons. We love hearing from you, and your insights help make this community stronger. And don't forget, I'll be back very soon with more updates, analysis, and all the latest Falcons news, so stay tuned because the best is yet to come. This team is on the rise, and with your passion and support, we're all part of this journey. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Falcons!